Hey everybody, this is Chris with Reptiles and Oddities. I finally got my hair cut, so yeah, it's a lot shorter. So, well, I got some good news and I got an adoption. So here, how about I turn this thing around and I'll show y'all. So here's the Burmese cage so far. 8 foot, 4 foot, 6 foot. And basically, I had to redo a little bit of it. Here's the door. I got a doorknob and everything in it. I did have to notch it because the striker itself is just too long. So I had to put a piece there and then notch this in so that slides in. And it works perfectly. It's locked. Boom. Opens. Yeah. Do it that way and it's locked. So as soon as I get glass or whatever I'm going to put in here for the time being until I get glass, we're good. So the only thing I might need to do is do something about this gap. Even the berms is not getting out of this, I might actually raise this up a little bit and live with that. So I use that as like ventilation because like the berms ain't getting out of that, not whatsoever. The only thing I do got to fix is this gap here does not line up with that. So I got to fix that. That won't be too bad to fix at all because this is straight, this is just cockeyed, so I don't know. Like I said, might run that through. I might see if I put in the piece of glass through this part right here and then to cap it right there. But I'm using like these blocks right here to kind of fasten everything together. So what I might do is run it through the skill saw, or the table saw just one more time and just whack that back off there and I'll line it with this. So because everything else is in line, whenever I get glass or something, just slide it up in there, boom. So yeah, but the enclosure has been dry locked completely. It's dark in here. I do have a light right here, but I don't have, let me see, hang on a second. Okay, boom. I have one light in here. I'm going to get another one because what's cool is this light is linkable, and that's just a typical LED light. I got the box. The box is laying right over here. Reach. Yeah, I picked it up $15 at Lowe's. It's a 3 foot light, 3000 K, luminous, color temper. It's a shop light. It's linkable. Plug in. You can link up to 6 lights. I'm only going to use 2 of them. So yeah, what's cool is you don't have to use the chains. It comes with a little clip, so you can literally clip it right to the enclosure. Screw it in, boom, you're done. I'm going to link another one up right on this side, so this side's light up. And the reason why I'm using lights like this is just for light, because I am going to get a heater to go in here on a thermostat to put the port to actually push heat in here. And why you see spots just like that is because I actually had to come back and do another layer of dry lock on pieces that were poking through of natural wood, because if natural wood is showing through, that's where the rot can start and just keeps going and going and going until this cage needs to be thrown away. Now the one thing I do need to do, I do got to come back with silicone or something and go around every single crack on here and just silicone the living daylights out of it to seal it completely up. And I've got one vent there, one vent right there, and I've got 2 on this side, 2 on that side, and I'm going to be using these little ventilation ports right here. That should be good enough, and then when winter comes around, I will just block those off so cold air doesn't go in here and drops it. But what I am going to have is a temperature, Bluetooth temperature reader and humidity reader, so therefore I can read off my phone and it will alert me if the temperature drops too low in here. So yeah, now we had the dry lock done, silicone it, and then we're going to go to the lake and we're going to find a big piece of driftwood and mount in here for him to climb. We're going to get a black pool in here to put in the corner. I'm going to filtrate it so therefore it doesn't get stagnant. And then we're going to go to Lowe's and just buy a bunch of cypress mulch and coconut husk and sand and just mix it all together. And we have magnolia trees everywhere, so I'm going to get some leaves and boil them and do that just for the bedding. So background, I don't know if we're going to do a background at all right now. That is going to get pretty pricey right there. That might be a later date, but yeah. And glass is going to be probably a later date too because it's going to be expensive. So what I'll probably do is just go get some of that Revolutional 1/4 inch thick plywood and just put it in here, cut a section out of it and put one of my pieces of glass I got in there that are smaller that won't fit in here. So if anybody's got glass, I'll measure it and I'll put in the description of what size I need. So if y'all have any and y'all want to donate it, that'd be much appreciated, but I don't know about shipping it. That might be a little bit of pain right there. But I don't know, if y'all want to and risk it, by all my means, I'll send you my address. Because donations are really welcome, because this animal is a surrendered Burmese. So if y'all, I'll put a picture of me holding the Burms or working with the Burms, and you'll see what he looks like. Real gentle giant. So yeah, but buddy. Everything is 1532 thickness, and it has a skeleton on here. It's been glued with Gorilla Glue, and a lot of them has the 4x8 sheets of wood has 1-inch screws in it, while the actual studs have 3-inch screws going through it. So yeah, and like I said, doorknob is what came in today, and you can lock it, so you can lock this thing and no one's getting in, no one's getting out. And I made sure I didn't have a lever on here so the Burms can't just open it and get out. So, and I've got 4-inch caster rails coming in, supposed to be in tomorrow. So therefore that will raise this thing up and we can wheel it around, move it around if we need to, real ease. It's going to be rated at 2,400 pounds. I don't think this thing's going to be 2,400 pounds, but yeah, so do that. And then once I get all the woodworking done, especially up front, because what I want to do, I want to get some wood putty and seal this up, sand this down, seal it up so you don't see this really at all. And yeah, and then I want to seal this up completely, sand it down. You don't see this at all too, because this is where this striker goes in. This is where glass goes in, so that's why there's two there. And then we're going to paint it purple. I got this dye right here. I really need to redo this one, but this is what kind of the purple it's going to go on. I actually had different colors on this one, and I sanded it down and I redid it, so that's why it's starting to mess up. I'm going to redo it and it's going to look good. But I got this powder. It's green. Where is it at? Right here. I got this wood stain right here. I picked it up from Amazon. Looks green. When you mix it with water, it turns purple. This thing was like less than $10 on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description below if y'all want to try this. And they have multiple different vibrant colors. And once you're done with this, hit it with spray paint. Clear coat spray paint will lock it down where it won't come off or anything like that. So really good product. A little bit goes a lot. So, and honestly, yeah, you can see, let me see if we get this in the light. Yeah, you can see some of the purple down there. It's dried up, but yeah. And honestly, I can just pour water in this and remix it. And there's a spider in there. So get him out before I do mix that. So yeah, that's what's going on with the Burmese cage. And it's absolutely huge. And it's 4 foot wide by 6 foot tall by 8 feet long. So that's what I could do at the moment. And it's going to be out here on this back porch. This cage is going to go inside the room, and that's probably going to be one of the last few big cages in there, besides a 4 foot by 2 by 2 and some smaller ones that can go in there. And so this thing's going to be out here, so I'm building it to where it can be well insulated. I don't want some thin ass glass on this thing to where it doesn't hold any heat at all, because this porch can get down to 32 degrees. That's why I'm not using a Reptile heater. I'm actually using a different style heater that I can control with the thermostat. Once I get it and test it and it works, I'll put that link in one of the descriptions in the future videos. Now, let me show y'all on another animal that is, well, I got a buddy that's already adopting it out. So, this cage right here, I need to get my wallet off of it. And then do that. This cage was donated, along with the animal, was a surrender from a couple from Dallas, and they got the snake because they're scared of snakes and they wanted to get over their fear, and now they want something else new. Where are you, buddy? I bet he's gonna be underneath the water bowl. They said that he likes doing that. Yep, there he is. This is a Hypo Brooks king snake right here. Okay, the reason why he's not in the reptile room because one, he did come in just a few weeks ago. He's already ate for me. He looks really good. There's no mites, no anything's wrong with him. He's just perfect. They thought they had a Desert King, but as soon as I looked at it, that's not a Desert King, that's a Brooks King because the pattern on them. And then I started looking at Morph Market for one just like that. It's called a Hypo. So I'm guessing this is a Hypo Brooks King. But like I said, I got a real good friend that wants him, so he's going to take him along with the tank and everything. He's going to adopt him out, and I know 100% this is going to a really good home. So let's put him back in here. King snakes, I do like king snakes, but I want a Desert King. It's a Spectacle King, and then I want to get a California King. That's the ones I want to get. And he ran into his height when I did that. So, yeah. But he's in this 50-gallon. Really good setup. The only thing I had to do was I had to remelt one of the ends on here. So, lock that. Lock it. Lock it. I actually had to remelt this because this was bent up because a heat lamp was warping it. So I heated up, fixed it, so it's good to go now. So he's not getting out. And like I said, this is a 50-gallon, a weird looking 50-gallon, really cool, wide and all that stuff. So this will be good for the Brooks King for quite a while. And then later on, my buddy that's getting it wants me to build him a custom cage for this Brooks King, so it'll be much bigger once this snake gets a lot bigger. But again, what I do as of right now, I work with the Oklahoma Wildlife Department to catch and release and relocate native reptiles here in the state of Oklahoma. I cannot cross Texas. I cannot do it in any other state. I can do it only in Oklahoma. I have done a partnership with my game wardens. I am friends with my local game wardens. And no, I saw this on a comment here at the Animals at Home podcast. Dylan, someone thought I was talking about a whitelist. No, I am not for a whitelist. I'm not for a blacklist. Nothing. I want more animals to be legalized to work with. I don't want anything banned whatsoever. But I work with the wildlife department to catch the native ones and relocate them so they don't get killed by like in their heads cut off or something, or shot with a shotgun. And because around here, a good snake's a dead snake, I am trying to change that. And then I also run a rescue service with the exotic sides. And if I take in an animal, if I don't want it, I adopt it out. And when I adopt it out, if it's somebody I don't know that I know is going to take good care of the animal, then the person has to do an adoption form. And it's almost like an application of how, and you know what you're getting into when you're getting whatever animal that I get that I am adopting out. And then the money that I get from adopting that animal out goes right back into these animals. So yeah. And I said I work with my local police department here in Durant and my local animal control and the Choctaw Police Department too on catching natives and taking in exotic reptiles. So yeah, so any donations that come in really helps out. For instance, getting glass, because it's not going to be cheap at all. Just for the Retix cage that's 6 foot by 4 foot by 2 feet deep, it's going to be $186 for 2 pieces. And yeah, that's, yeah. I'm kind of scared of see what that size is going to be, because that's bigger. So yeah. But again, if I have any animals in the future up for adoption, and you can message me on Instagram if I still have them. There is an adoption fee, and I try my best not to charge too much for the adoption fee, depending on what species it is. And I don't charge nothing to come and get the native ones. I just strictly take donations. So yeah, and I try to do educational programs here in person with my animals. I go to schools and other places like that. And I'm supposed to be down at Lost Street Brewery again this fall. I need to go down there and find out if they found a date they want me to come down to talk about exotic animals and native animals to try to get people over their fears about these animals. And if any laws come in to town or into state trying to change that, maybe people will remember what I say and how the example I put, and think second instead of going against trying to ban whatever reptile or animal that is out there that doesn't need to be banned because it's not really dangerous. I mean, even if it's the dangerous ones, the people that can work with them, like me with my venomous snakes, I make it where it's not dangerous working with venomous snakes. Now, can an accident always happen? Yes, but again, trying to get people over their fear and say these animals, as long as you're trained and you know what you're doing, you can work with them. So, but yeah. And then later on in the future, hopefully I'll have the property where I can build a reptile zoo where people can probably come and tour, kind of like Chandler's Wildlife and all that, with crocodilians, hopefully alligators too. I want a Siluriosis reticulated python, a female. I want a female Burmese, so maybe I can breed the Burms at least once, and then keep the adults. And then I'm going to have multiple others. Like I'm about to get an Egyptian cobra. I might be getting a monocle. I don't know. I might get another species later on. I might be getting a neotropic rattlesnake. I am wanting a copperhead, and I'm not done with getting other species of reptiles too. So I will eventually have a zoo, and these cages I'm building are going to be part of my zoo. So I'm not building nothing to just throw away. I'm building stuff to keep. So yeah, and there's a fly. So all right, well, this is all that's going to be in the video. So guys and gals, y'all have a good one. And the fly is bugging me because it is hot and muggy out here, and the cage is coming along just perfect. Just fix that little gap up there, and we are cooking with Crisco. We're flooring it and keeping this going so the Burms can get out of its little crate and into this humongous of a cage. And if he grows even bigger, of course I'll put him in a much bigger cage. So until next time, guys, I'll catch you on the next one. And y'all know what to do. Bye.